What's up, Kettlebell crew? This is Coach Sean, and I'm bringing you just a express kettlebell class today. We're going to spend some time getting prepped, but the primary focus of our class today is going to be all about the kettlebell swing. And at the end of it, when we actually do get into the swings, if you're somebody who maybe is a little nervous about getting that swing going, you can always opt to take the dead clean instead, or I'll give you a body weight option you can take. But definitely, this class is intended for you to have a kettlebell in hand. Technically, you can use a dumbbell for a lot of these. It's just harder to grip. You would end up having to have the dumbbell vertical and be holding it from there. It's just a little awkward. But that's not to say that it's not impossible. So let's get into the swing of getting prepped for this. Now, if we're going to work on our kettlebell swing, that means that we need to make sure we've got great access to our hips. We got to make sure our spine's moving really well. So we're actually going to do our cat and cows from what we call a short stop position. So imagine your shortstop on the field, and we're going to work our spine through there. Now, why are we doing this from here versus on the ground? Well, this just happens to be the position that I need to load my hips in when I do that kettlebell swing. So I want to make sure I'm getting my spine very happy and accustomed to being here, as well as my hips. You'll notice I'm not letting my head move a ton with this, but I'm still thinking about that one vertebrae at a time move. I'm especially making sure I get that upper back in the picture here. Kettlebell swings are a really powerful tool to have in your repertoire. There's a lot of different ways to approach them depending on the weight you've selected. But definitely in the beginning, when you're learning how to use them, yes, you want to go a little bit lighter to get more comfortable. But once you are comfortable, you do need to select a slightly heavier weight than you think, because we need to make sure our lower body is the primary driver of that kettlebell swing. And if the weight's too light, it's way too easy to overcompensate with our upper body and maybe overextend our back. Okay, so now that we've worked through that a little bit, let's go ahead, walk those feet out nice and wide here. Wrap your arms around to grab your shoulder blades. I want you to squeeze in with your feet. You should hopefully feel your adductors. We're going to just rotate that spine. Now we took our spine through its primary motion of flexion extension. Why are we rotating our spine for this? Well, a lot of the work we do with kettlebells involves resisting rotation, especially when we're doing single-sided work. That bell wants to rotate you, you've got to fight against it. But we definitely want to make sure our spine is prepared to deal with all forces today. Awesome. All right, since our feet are already here, let's go ahead and sink down a little bit into each hip. You can hold it for a couple seconds on each side. While I'm doing this, I'm paying a lot of attention to my oppositional foot here. I want the entire foot to stay planted in the ground. Another aspect of swinging bells is your feet, and we got to make sure those feet are gripping the ground. I would highly suggest you have a flat shoe on today, or just slip your shoes off. You definitely do not want to be in a running style shoe when working with the kettlebell swing. It unfortunately just influences your foot too much. But also, there's so much cushioning in that shoe. It's really hard to push into the ground and get a response back the way we want. So yeah, if you feel comfortable, just take those shoes off. Or maybe like me, I'm wearing a pair of Allbirds here. It's a nice flat platform. I've got room to spread my toes out. Okay, let's just take our hands to our side and just roll those shoulders a little bit. We are going to be taking those arms out today, so definitely want to make sure those shoulder blades are ready and prepared too. Every time I'm thinking about my workout, I'm always thinking about the primary set, where my focus is, and then I work backwards from there to figure out what I need to prep and warm up so I can get the most out of the primary work. Okay, we want to open those hips up a little bit more. You can do this with or without weight. I'm just going to take a light kettlebell and I'm going to draw it up here into a goblet position. Now, if you're not able to get into a deep squat, you could set up with your heels elevated on something if you want. But if you have access to that deep squat, we're just going to sink down into it, chest up, elbows on the inside. Again, if you maybe your ankles, you don't have access to this, you'd be amazed at just getting your heels elevated will help you get access into this range of motion significantly better. But if maybe there's a reason you can't be down here because of your knee, that's completely fine. You could go body weight or assisted. You could hold on to something while you drop down in this without the weight. And while I'm here, I'm just giving my head around a little bit. I actually like to do neck carves from down here and just get nice and comfy. This is helping me get some spinal extension. It's getting my ankles warmed up. A lot of stuff happening down here. And I'm breathing. You're going to get real cozy with loading these hips today. Okay, you can just kind of shift around if you want, even a little bit forward, back, side to side, wiggle around. 3, 2, 1. Good. We're going to carefully put that weight down. Now I'm going to head to all fours. Now, like I was talking about, the kettlebell swing is a deep hinge, and we want to make sure we're getting there. So we're going to go all fours here, tuck my right toe under, left leg's going to go out to the side. I'm going to slowly rock back to bring my butt to my heel and then come back up. This is again, we're opening the hips up. You can even choose to rotate and point that toe up as you rock back if you want. Other things I'm checking here is my spine straight. As I rock back, I don't want to create any roundness in that spine. I'm literally trying to mimic the position my spine needs to be in for that swing. I'm also engaging the ground a little bit with my hands. One more here. Okay, we're going to switch sides. So this side, I'll do something a little different. Now I'm actually trying to keep my foot pushed in the ground. So there's something a little bit different. Lots of different ways to do everything. Nothing's right or wrong, unless it hurts. You guys are lucking out. My dogs are a little bit more low key right now. They were not when I filmed something earlier. Okay, that's enough reps of that. Let's come on down to your back on the ground. We want to open that posture up a little bit. So I'm going to go knees bent, back pushed into the ground here just to create a little bit of tension. I'm not trying to kill the ground with my low back, but I should be able to find my abs. If you have access to this, you're going to do a floor slide. If you don't, hands here, and you're going to do some shoulder blade squeezes. So I'm just going to slowly slide those arms above my head while I try to keep that low back pushed into the ground. It's a great way to get those scaps pulled together, get that posture opened up. When we're doing our kettlebell swings, the weight's out in front of you, which means it wants to pull you into a rounded position. The kettlebell swing is really all about resisting against the directions or the forces that it's creating. So we're always, if the bell's always trying to pull us one way, we're always trying to fight it. So there's like a little tug of war going on constantly. We got 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Okay, chest is nice and opened up here, but let's get a little bit more rotation in. So we'll just do a quick set of open books here. I'm going to find a fetal position and we're going to just rotate that chest over and back here for about 10 reps on each side. I'm going to make sure my chest is actually turning. Make sure you're breathing. You'll find if you breathe out, it's going to help open up that range of motion a little bit more. Also keeping my knees stacked here. Couple more. Good. Okay, let's switch sides. So you can see it doesn't have to be complicated, right? We just need to warm up. That's the bottom line. Good. Rotate and back over. You feel like your head needs support here. Feel free to put something underneath it. A little tight on this side. Good. We'll do 2 more and 1 more. Okay, so that's it for just a little bit of body prep. Now we got to activate a few things here. So we're going to probably go through this a couple times. Number one, we're going to get just into a split stance. So the difference is if I was in like a full blown lunge, I'd be down here. I'm actually going to come up a little bit. This is going to be real quick. We're going to pull our feet together for just a couple seconds to create tension. We're going to do that 5 times on each side here. So we're going to go 3, 2, 1, tension, release, tension, release, tension, release. 2 more. 2, And one. Good. Step up. We'll switch sides. How do I know you're creating enough tension? You should immediately make a super weird face. Okay. Tuck your pelvis under. Pull the feet towards each other. 3, 2, 1, go. Pull. There's 5. Pull. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, shake it out. Now, if you have a pad, great. You don't have to have one. My knees just don't like the mats here. We're going to do a quick motion now. The kettlebell swing is also a horizontal motion. So I want to try and get myself into some horizontal projection here. So I'm going to get into half kneeling and then I'm going to lean forward, keeping my heel on the ground so that my spine and my shin match. I'm going to step up and do that 5 times on each side. These are sprint starts. There's 3, 4. This is also getting me to push in the ground hard. 5. Okay, shake it out. We'll go to the other side. Again, I'm trying to get, it's what we call positive shin angle. Spine matches it. There's 1. Push down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Whew. Now we're going to wake the feet up a little bit more. So I'm going to put my heels up in the air. I'm going to go into a little deadlift here. And then I'm going to deadlift. Then I'm going to squat. Then I'm going to come back to my deadlift. Back to the top. My heels are up the whole time. And whoo, falling forward. Deadlift, squat, deadlift, up. Couple more. Deadlift, squat, deadlift, up. One more. Good. Shake it out. We're going to go through that sequence one more time just to make sure we're ready to go. Okay. Right leg forward, left leg back, drop down. So 5 times here, but I want you to feel like this ramps up. So we're going to go from like a little tension to a lot of tension on number 5. All right. Ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything you got. 5. Okay, shake it out. It's just a couple seconds. Here we go. Other side. Ramping up. 1, 2, 3, 4. On this last one, make a really crazy face. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, shake it out. Okay, on these ones, similar to what we just did, but we're going to take a quarter turn. I'd love to think that everything can exist in one plane of motion like our kettlebell swing, but it helps to have some supplemental work in here. So I'm going to set up like this with a hip open to the side, and I'm going to push and turn. If you don't have that much hip mobility, just change the angle. Go to 45 degrees instead of 90. Okay, that was 1. So right here. 2. You'll notice you can't push down as hard from here. That's because we're in end range. 4, 5. Okay, other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, woo, 5. Okay, nice job, everybody. We got one more round doing those little balance hinges and squats. Here we go. Hinge, squat. Find your hinge again, back to the top. 4 more. Hinge, squat, hinge, back to the top. 2 more. One more. Okay. How heavy do I go on this kettlebell? Because we're going to work drills. light to medium to start, maybe. All of our drills are going to have two hand, and then we're actually going to advance it to a one hand. But I'm just going to get a 16 kilo out. For me, that 16 kilo is that really like multi-purpose kettlebell where it's heavy enough that I will use my lower body. But that's going to be different for everybody. And like I said, if you're new to this, definitely go lighter, um, and build your comfort level up as your skills get better. But I would say 12 to 14 kilos is what I typically use for everyone in class, which is roughly 25 to 30 pounds. Okay, so like I said, today's all about the swing. We're going to work drills. So the first one is going to be our drag drill. So start with the bell between your feet. We're going to step back. We want to think about having this nice little triangle. If I was really trying to measure this out, I'm roughly like if I take 2 steps here, I'm just maybe 2.5 or maybe 1.5 back here, somewhere in that range. It needs to be enough that when I go into this, I'm looking for a lightning bolt posture here. So that means my knees, my hips, my shoulders, if you see this line. So my hips need to be above my knees and my shoulders need to be above my hips. I don't want to be too vertical. The kettlebell is moving horizontal. If I was doing a dead clean, I'm going to be more vertical. For this, I need to be here, but I definitely don't want to be here because that's going to put more stress on your hamstrings and your low back. I need access to my quads, my glutes, my hamstrings, all the big, powerful leg muscles in order to make this happy. So we're going to start with 3 drags. So I'm going to push my hips back, cut my hips, put my hands on my bell, and I'm going to tip it. I'm going to slowly drag this, maybe 10 seconds to drag. My sole goal right now is to maintain my posture. Stand up, we'll switch and come back. So again, just get comfortable with that distance you need to be here. Cut your hips, hands on bell, tip it, pull slow. Don't let that posture move in even a little bit. Good, stand up. You'll know you're doing this right if your quads are burning up a storm. One more. Cut your hips. Make sure you're breathing too. Pull, 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 pull. Good, rest. Okay. In between working this drill, we're going to do what we call a drop down. So we're going to be up here, dropping and catching ourselves. Definitely make sure you're breathing and taking your time with this. I just caught myself because I'm trying to talk. I got lightheaded every time I stood up there. Okay, so hands are up, heels are up, drop. Ooh, what's this look like? My loading position of my kettlebell swing. We're gonna do 5 of these. Drop, up, drop, drop. Let's do one more for good measure. Okay, shake it out. We'll do those drags again. I'm gonna give you like 30 seconds. We're gonna do this one more time with 2 hands for both, and then we're gonna advance this drill a little bit. So bell back in place. Again, breathing. Got to remind ourselves all the time. Find your position, touch your hips, tip your bell, slow drag. Slow, 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 slow. Breathe out. Good. Yeah, that's right, Stevie. Good job, guys. Okay, tip your bell, slow drag. Good, one more. Getting lots of practice with where we need to be for these swings. Good, shake it out. Make sure I'm not lightheaded here. Okay, so we're going to do that drop down again. So we're up on our heels, drop. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now, like I said, we're going to advance this. We're going to do that drag again, one armed. This is where if you wanted to go to a lighter bell, 100% go to that lighter bell. Because now what this is all about is when I'm dragging with one side, I'm trying to rotate. If you are somebody who knows that single-sided work is not your jam, stick to the two hand. Okay. I'm gonna set up exactly the same way. We're gonna do two on each side. So I'm biasing, you'll see when I stepped in here, I biased the bell to the inside of the leg the side I'm gonna pull on. So I'm gonna step back exactly like I did before, cut my hips exactly like I did before. The bell is just slightly over here. I'm gonna put my right hand on it to tip it. This hand's here for tension. Slow drag. Stand up, take a step back, cut your hips, tip your bell, slow drag. Good. And I'll move it back. I'm going to start over. We'll go to the other side here. Biasing the bell to my left, step it back, cut your hips, tip your bell, tension on the other side, slow drag. Stand it up, reset, cut your hips, tip your bell, slow pull. Good. Stand up, shake it down. Okay, so we can't stick to just the 2 feet, right? We got to go to 1 foot here. So we're going to snap down 3 times on each side, 2 feet, landing on one. Okay. Three on each side here. So get up, arms up, drop and land. Up, stand on the same side, get your balance. Snap those arms down. This exercise in particular is all about absorbing those forces. When we do our actual swing, that bell comes down and your body has to absorb and redirect. That's what this drill is all about. Woo. Good, one more. Okay, shake it out. How'd that feel, everybody? Okay, I'm just shaking it out for a second. So now we're going to move on to our next drill, which is the swing starts. Now we're going to add some dynamic movement into this. So I'm going to set up exactly like I did before for my kettlebell swing, but now I'm going to hold my posture while the bell travels back and forward. It's still a game of posture. Don't let the kettlebell pull you out of your position. Fight against it. Let's do 5 here. Tip it, back, tap, back, tap. There's 3, 4, 5. Okay, take a break. Legs might burn a little bit. We're going to rest for 30, do it again. We're doing 3 sets of these. You want these to feel smooth. You want to feel locked in. There's an enormous amount of abdominal strength required here, upper back strength. Again, that bell wants to round me, but I'm not letting it. So that means all my upper back muscles are firing, especially those lats. Okay, here we go. Round 2. Step it back, cut your hips, tip it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, take a break. While we rest from that one, this is a good time for me to mention when I'm down here, you'll notice my head is staying in a straight line with my spine. I'm not looking straight in front of me. Do not get into that habit. Your neck will hate you if you get into that habit. It's so easy with kettlebell swings to look forward when the bell's back. We need to get in the habit of a nice straight position. And it starts with these drills. These drills embed that feeling into you so that you won't even have to worry about that bad habit starting. Round 3 of these. Step it back, hinge your hips. Here we go. Tuck it. Throw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So those are our prep drills. We're going to hit some dead stop swings, and then I'll give you one more opportunity where we're actually going to swing that bell today. Dead stop swings are going to combine all of these together. So I'm going to take all the skills I just did. I'm going to hike it. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to let that bell travel its way back down. And right as it crosses my belly button, I'm going to break my hips to catch it. And then we're not going to rebound it. We're going to park it back on the ground. So don't worry what these look like. If you've never done them before, they're going to be all over the place. But sometimes It's okay to sacrifice a little bit of form. That's why if you're new to this, use a lighter bell to make it safer. But if you're a seasoned veteran, dead stop swings with a heavy bell is one of the most beautiful things you can do for power work. You're in end range of motion, generating force. So go for it if you're comfortable with this. Here's what it looks like. Same setup. I cut my hips, I tip my bell. Just like all my drills, I throw it behind me. I stand up, I come right back down. You'll notice with this, my lower body is the driver. I'm not lifting this with my arms, right? I'm going to use my lower body to get the bell up. Lower body absorbs, I park. Okay. So from right here, we're going to do 5 of these. Same thing. Step back, cut your hips, tip your bell, behind, stand up, park it. Throw it back, stand up, park it. 3 more. There's 3, 2, and 1. Nice job, you guys. That's beautiful. Okay. Hopefully you felt these. Sometimes the dead stops are way more challenging than actually doing your real swing. Ooh, gets your heart rate up just doing them. We're gonna actually hit one more set, and then I'll give you that chance to actually do some regular kettlebell swings today. And then that's it. It's a good little 30-minute practice today. Tons of things being trained within this session. Let's do it one more time. Step it back, cut your hips, tip your bell. 1, stand tall. 2, like a plank. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so here's your chance. If you're not ready for regular swings, that's okay. You can stick with dead stop swings. You could also practice without the bell. You could just practice feeling that. That's fine. So many ways to do this. The main thing I want you to think of is just get in there. Get in there, no matter how ugly it looks at first. It's okay. It takes time. It takes so much time. There's 3 cues to think about, but pick one. Eyes, feet, and breath are the 3 main ones. And what that means is I can focus on my breath, meaning my sole focus is to breathe out as my hips extend, which will be right before the bell hits peak height. You could also think about your eyes. Where are my eyes looking, like we talked about before? Eyes are here, eyes are here, eyes are here, eyes are here. That's going to help me so I don't extend my neck. Feet, you could focus solely on feeling your feet, primarily at the top. When I'm here, I'm corkscrewing the ground with my feet to really feel my hips, my glutes, everything lock in. Because when I get to the top of this swing, it should be like a plank. I don't want to be here. Definitely don't want to be here. I should be stopping right here at the top, nice straight line. Okay, so here we go. Let's give it a go. 5 swings, just see what happens. Only way you're gonna find out. Okay, tip your hips. Ready? Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, and rest. We're always putting the bell back down the way we brought it up. The way back down almost matters more. We're gonna do 2 more sets of these. I do like to count when I do swings because if I'm counting, it means I let my breath out. So you'll hear me go from here, breathe out, 1, breathe out, 2. I should be able to get a breath right here. 3. I should be able to breathe out and then say my number. So if you're focusing on your breath, that's a good way to do it. Here we go, round 2. Step back, cut your hips, tip your bell. Lost a headphone. That's how you know you're swinging. It's a good general rule. You know you got it swinging well when you lose a headphone or your ponytail whips you in the face. That's the sign of a good swing. Means you got some snap to it. So speaking of that, if you're feeling really comfortable with this last round of 5 we're going to do, think about that. Bring some intent to the party here. This is a dynamic motion. My feet are not going to leave the ground ever with a swing, but I can absolutely think about that force I'm generating here and getting a little pop to it. Okay, here it is. Final one, 5. Cut your hips, tip your bell. All right, and park it. Good job, you guys. All right, we'll come on down to the ground here. Let's just roll through a few cat and cows and then we'll call it a day. Ooh. All I have to say is thank goodness I put a fan in this room. Ooh. Blow it down. All right, there you go. 30 minutes learning to swing that bell. Great work, everybody. We'll see you next time.